Hey everybody, Dan Moran here from Concierge Diamonds. You know, we get questions from folks all over the internet every day about the process of buying an engagement ring. And especially from guys who aren't sure what they need to know before they go shopping for their partners and are wondering, hey, when I call you to get a ring, what do I need to already know? In fact, there's a lot you should know about the process of buying an engagement ring. There's enough about that we wrote a book about it. We're publishing it and you'll be able to get it off our website very soon. But in the meanwhile, I thought I would take a few minutes to just answer some of the most common and basic questions about the process of buying an engagement ring.
So Dan, what are some of the basics someone should know before they get started engagement ring shopping?
So there are a few things that would really help if you know when you call me or somebody like me. One, what shape of diamond do you think your partner's interested in? Round, oval, princess, radiant, whatever it happens to be, that'll help us to narrow down our search right away. Two, what color of metal does your partner like to wear? Is it white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, platinum? Certain colors of diamonds go better with certain kinds of metal. So knowing what kind of ring a stone is going to go into helps us to choose the best stones for you. Three, is your partner more of a minimalist, simple kind of a vibe or more of an elaborate, lots of stuff happening kind of a vibe? So that helps us to understand the budget for your setting. Since most people come to us with a total budget of how much they want to spend on a ring, if I know whether I'm making a simple ring or an elaborate ring, that lets me allocate some portion of your budget appropriately for the setting versus for the stone. Four, your timeline. When do you hope to have a ring in your pocket so you can get ready to get down on one knee? And five, your budget. Where are you hoping to be financially in terms of the total cost of the ring all in?
Okay, and talk a little bit about what the 4 C's mean.
So the 4 C's of diamonds, there's a lot to know about the 4 C's of diamonds. In fact, there's enough to know about it that I've already posted a long form video on that topic elsewhere on this channel. But for now, the very, very basics. The 4 C's are the primary driving factors of a diamond's value. They're not the only factors, but they're the good place to start. They are carat weight, color, clarity, and cut. I'll do the very, very, very short version of each one for now. Carat weight just refers to the weight of the stone. 1 carat is 1/5 of a gram. 5 carats is 1 gram. Nothing magical about carats. All you need to know is that the more a diamond weighs, the larger it'll be and the more expensive it'll be. Color. So a diamond is a carbon crystal, but sometimes other chemicals mix into that crystal as it's forming and give the stone an overtone of color. The more colorless a diamond is, the more expensive it will be. Clarity. When a diamond crystal forms, it never forms perfectly. There are always flaws or imperfections in the stone. The more flaws or imperfections and the larger they are, the less expensive the diamond will be. And cut. There's 2 aspects to cut. The first is, what shape is it? Is it round? Is it oval? Is it radiant? Is it Asher? The second is, for each cut there is a standard to which the diamond is supposed to be cut. There is an ideal standard for that shape. And each diamond is cut as close to that standard as it can be. But you have to evaluate for any given stone, how close to the ideal standard is it? And the closer to the ideal standard, the more light the diamond will return and the more it sparkles.
All right, and what is the difference between lab-grown diamonds and natural diamonds?
Well, that's a short question with a long answer. We'll get into that in more detail in the book, but for now, before you can really talk about the similarities of lab-grown and natural, you have to really think about what aspects of them are the same and what aspects are different. So visually, lab-grown and natural diamonds are the same. Not only would you never be able to tell the difference, I'd never be able to tell the difference, and I do this for a living. They look the same, they have the same refraction, the same hardness, the same durability. They are chemically the same stone, so they behave the same. The key difference between natural and lab-grown diamonds is that a natural diamond is a commodity. Mother Nature only made so many, and in point of fact, we are running out. Of the top 10 diamond mines in the world, all are scheduled to close in the next 10 years. Some have closed already, just, hey, none left here. But they are all going to be closed by 2036. And because diamonds are supply constrained and limited, natural diamonds are, they hold value no differently than gold or oil or any other commodity. Now, a lab-grown diamond, on the other hand, is a consumer product, can be made in infinite quantity. So as a result, they don't hold value in the long term. So if you spend X dollars on a natural diamond today, I can't tell you whether it's going to be worth X plus 10% or X plus 20% or X minus 10% in 5 years, because I don't know what the market's going to do. But if you spend X dollars on a lab-grown diamond today, I can tell you for sure that tomorrow it'll be worth zero. Because why would any grower buy your lab-grown diamond back when they can just make another anytime they want to? There's really no secondary market for lab-grown diamonds. So, on the other hand, lab-grown diamonds will cost a lot less upfront. So, if a natural diamond costs X dollars today, an equivalent lab-grown could be 1/4 of X, 1/5 of X, or even 1/10 of X for an equivalent-looking lab-grown stone. So, in summary, natural diamonds hold more value long-term, but lab-grown diamonds are a lot less expensive upfront.
Okay. And besides diamonds, what are some other popular gemstones someone might use for an engagement ring?
There are a lot of colored stones that people use when they, for whatever reason, don't want to use a diamond in a ring. Sapphires are probably the most popular, but people use rubies, emeralds, which I love, but you got to be careful about. They're a relatively soft stone and they're kind of fragile for daily wear, as well as other less common stones like tanzanite or heliodor or aquamarine or whatever else suits somebody's taste. There's lots of stones that can work in an engagement ring, and there are some that I really don't recommend. Stones like tanzanite or opal are just too soft for daily wear. They're going to get chipped and broken very, very quickly.
Okay, and what are the most popular diamond shapes you come across?
Well, traditionally, round has always been the most popular shape. As of about 5 years ago, 70% of all engagement rings in the US featured a round diamond. That trend is changing with the rise of lab-grown diamonds. Because cutting efficiency is no longer as much of a factor, cutters are experimenting with lots of different shapes and wild designs for diamond shapes. And that's chewing away at the popularity of round diamonds. So in lab-growns, you're seeing old mine cushions and European cuts and all kinds of other fun stuff that's eating into market share of round diamonds. But I would say besides round, the most popular shapes in the market are oval, elongated cushion cut, and radiant today.
Right on. And tell us about the most popular ring design styles you see.
Today, there's a bit of a trend towards minimalism. You're seeing a lot of solitaires, a lot of hidden halos, and other minimal designs. But there are also plenty of people who are making maximalist designs with asymmetrical side stones and different colored stones and split shanks that have that negative space in between shanks, showing some more delicate feminine look. So there are a lot of different designs out there. Because we here at Concierge Diamonds don't stock settings, we're not enslaved to the designs that were popular 3 years ago when we made a certain ring. We're making the stuff that people want to have today. And if you're looking for a ring, we'll make it exactly to your design specification.
Okay, and the last question I have for you is, can you tell us the difference between shopping for an engagement ring at a retail chain and going to a custom private jeweler?
Well, it's a completely different experience. When you walk into a retail store, you have to remember, they have no idea what you're coming in for. You might be looking for an engagement ring, you might be looking for a string of pearls, or for a watch, or for a silver bracelet, or who knows. So a retail store, by their nature, has to be a generalist. They have to know a little bit about a lot of different things. They have to keep in stock a little bit of a lot of different things. They can't stock a lot of everything because it's economically impossible. A company like ours, like Concierge Diamonds, is more of a specialist. If you come in here and ask me to show you my selection of pearls, I have nothing to show you. Doesn't mean I can't get them. I have great contacts in the industry for pearls or sapphires or watches or whatever the case may be. But my expertise, my stock and trade is diamond. So whereas a retailer will know a little bit about a lot of different things, I know a lot about one thing, diamonds and diamond jewelry. So if you're, to use a medical analogy, if your local retail store is your family doctor, I am your cardiothoracic surgeon. If you sprained your ankle, maybe I'm not the guy. But if your chest hurts, you don't want the family doctor, you want me.
All right, that'll do it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. There's a lot more coming in the book, and if there's any questions that you want answered urgently, feel free to reach out anytime. Thanks for stopping by.